to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. The influential sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong un warned the United States on Tuesday that it would face a more fatal security crisis as Washington pushes for UN condemnation of the North's recent intercontinental ballistic missile test. Kim Yo Jong's warning came hours after the United States Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield told an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council that the United States will circulate a proposed presidential statement condemning North Korea's banned missile launch and other destabilizing activities. After the meeting, Thomas Greenfield also read a statement by 14 countries which supported actions to limit North Korea's advancement of its weapons programs. Kim Yon Jong, who is widely considered North Korea's second most powerful person after her brother, lambasted the United States for issuing what she called a disgusting joint statement together with such rabbles as Britain, France, Australia, Japan, and South Korea. Kim compared the United States to a barking dog seized with fear. She also stated that North Korea would consider the United States led statement a wanton violation of our sovereignty and a grave political provocation. Quote, the United States should be mindful that no matter how desperately it may seek to disarm North Korea, it can never deprive North Korea of its right to self defense, and that the more hell bent it gets on anti North Korea acts, it will face a more fatal security crisis. Monday, the UN Security Council meeting was convened in response to North Korea's ICBM launch on Friday, which was part of a provocation run of missile tests this year that experts state is designed to modernize its nuclear arsenal and increase its leverage in future diplomacy. North Korea has stated that its testing activities are a legitimate exercise of its right to self-defense in response to regular military drills between the United States and South Korea, when it views as an invasion rehearsal. Washington and Seoul officials state that the exercises are defensive in nature. Kim Yon Jong stated that the fact that North Korea's ICBM launch was discussed at the Security Council is evidently the application of a double standard by the UN body because it turns blind eyes to the United States and South Korea military drills. She also stated that North Korea won't tolerate any attempts to undermine its right to self defense and will take the toughest counter reaction to the last to protect its national security. This is the thing that I've stated before, and this was back when it was people were assuming that the leader of North Korea um, was, very ill and very sick, and people were theorizing that his sister was going to take over. And I was trying to tell people, don't be too happy and don't be trying to push forth and wish this in the universe because you don't know specifically what it is that you're going to get with the next leader. I took one look at his sister the very first time during that whole thing, and I'm like, ooh, I'm like, nah, bring back him. I'm like, bring back Kim. She not about no foolishness. I'm just going to let you know, she ain't about no foolishness. I can take a look at that woman. Like I said, there's certain people out here in life that you can specifically look at and tell that they are one specific way, and that if you decide to do anything, oh, it's on site. They're not going to care. Like it's going to be whatever it is that they want to do. She's that type. Now, dealing with Kim and how he is, he's a little bit more like friendly, you know, so to speak. Because if you take the aspect of, Dennis Rodman meeting him and, the things that he's specifically interested in, it's like you can, in a sense, have a conversation with him. You can have, I guess, for lack of a better word, commonality. And pretty much, if you have somebody that is interested in sports, it's very easy to try to bridge the gap into other conversations by, leading in with that, right? If you have both people that are into sports, they can pretty much become buddies, friends, share a beer, different things like that. It's an opener, right? And when I look at a sister, you don't have a way in, right? And especially if you are a male and you are, the head of, wherever you are, right? And you want to specifically come there to have a conversation with her, you don't have the same interest. It's going to be very hard to break that ice. Like there's really going to be nothing that you can do. Now, unless I would go to say if it was a younger man, right? Somebody more youthful, somebody that she might deem attractive, then that's a little bit different. Right, that's a little bit different, but we already know how the world works, right? They tend to go for people who are a lot older, up there in age, in order to, rule certain things. So yet again, that's going to be another thing cut directly out. So the only thing that's going to take place is aggression versus aggression. That's it. And like I said before, my main thing is like, yo, United States, stop messing with North Korea. Let North Korea, unless they do something that's completely ridiculous, that it's like, yo, you done really messed up now. Leave them alone. Just leave them alone, because you're trying to walk around and control with the help of the UN. You're trying to walk around and control what it is that everybody else is able to do, but yet you can't even control what happens within your own borders. How does that work? North Korea, South Korea, they got their stuff managed. They're doing whatever it is that they're doing. And if they want to have conversations, they'll have conversations. If the Japanese need to have conversations, they'll sit up there and have conversations, and so on and so on and so on. The United States needs to worry about United States problems. Because, like I said before, it makes no sense how it is that the United States is a first world country, but yet we're still suffering from third world issues. The math is not mathing. I need somebody to make it make sense. How is it possible that we're trying to defend and pour all of this money around the world to everybody else, but yet we can't even defend American people from themselves? Huh? Excuse me? I need somebody to make that make sense for me. But like I said before, the United States is very the one thing that the United States is very great at doing historically is minding everybody else's business and not minding its own. And this is why we are always in so many wars, in so many battles, continuously, wasting and sending young lives directly out there to do whatever it is that we need them to do, because it's the honorable thing to do. It's what America is here, because we're the free world. We're supposed to protect everybody. But everybody ain't trying to protect us. We would never, ever allow other countries to send their people over here in order to fix the police, to work with the public, and so on and so on and so on. We would never allow people to do that. But yet this is what we do to other countries. Does somebody out there notices how this doesn't make sense? Because it doesn't. It's a waste of money. All of the billions and trillions of dollars that we have literally spent, all of the time that we have sent people directly over, we could have kept people home. We could have invested that money here. We could have put that forth in education. We could have put it forth in healthcare. We could have put it forth in technology. There's a lot of things that we could have done better, but the United States refuses to actually support and push its own people forward. So what does the United States do? Let's antagonize and bother some people in order to cause a war. Let's potentially cause some issues that don't realistically need to happen. Like I said, the United States is a very great instigator. It's very great at being at war, and it's terrible at being at peace. So once people actually realize that, they'll see, you know, how everything is going and where it is going to go. If the United States wanted to be at peace, they would do so. If the United States wanted to invest in our own infrastructure, our own defense, our own economy, and our education system and our healthcare system, if they wanted to put money, billions and trillions of dollars towards the VA for all of the disabled vets and the vets suffering through PTSD and such, they would actually do it. But like I said before, the United States puts up a very good front at basically stating this is what we care about. But realistically, that's not what they care about. Like I said, follow the money. The money will show you what specifically the United States cares about and what the United States doesn't.